Whether you are just beginning your AI journey or already building with it, this is the moment to lean in. Please join me in welcoming to the stage Paul Roetzer.
It's great to be with you all today. I have had the privilege of being with Movable Inc. at a series of events over the last 6 months. They always put on an incredible show, so we're really looking forward to the event today. I have 20 minutes to talk to you about where we are, where we're going, what it means to you, and what you can do about it. So we have a lot to cover. For many of you, for most practitioners, most business leaders, most marketers, artificial intelligence really started November 30th, 2022. Now, AI had been studied as a field, as a discipline, this idea that we could give machines human-like intelligence since the 1950s. But it wasn't until 2022 that we could all go to a website or an app and experience artificial intelligence. Now, if you were paying attention, if you were reading and following the AI labs, including OpenAI, they were being very clear about where they thought artificial intelligence was going. So this is an article that Sam Altman wrote called Moore's Law for Everything in March 2021, so a year and a half before ChatGPT. And they said the AI is going to be able to think, it's going to be able to create, to understand, to reason. But most people weren't prepared for that. Just last week, Sam published another essay called The Gentle Singularity. We actually talk about it on our podcast episode that dropped about an hour ago, where he says we're actually nearing the point where the AI becomes superhuman. So we'll talk a little bit about what that means. So here's what I want to give to you today. The 5 fundamental things that you need to know. Now again, if you've been following AI for the last couple years, great. We'll go through a few things that maybe you haven't thought about or seen. If you're at the very beginning, that's great too. This will set the stage for you for the sessions you're going to go to over the next couple days and help you really have a foundation. So the first thing is awareness and adoption are accelerating. Now the reason it's happening, again, we've had AI for 70 years, versions of AI. The reason it's accelerating is because we entered the generative AI phase, where AI can create. It can create images and video and audio and code and text. It's able to create anything from a simple text prompt. And that has democratized access to artificial intelligence. The other reason we're seeing this rapid acceleration is that leaders starting in the tech industry, but quickly moving into other industries, are thinking of themselves as AI first or AI forward. This is from early April. This is an internal memo from the CEO of Shopify, where he said to his team, before you get headcount, you have to prove an AI can't do it. And so this is the kind of messaging we're now seeing happen. And again, it's not just in the SaaS world anymore. And it can still be human-centered, but the reality is more and more AI is able to do a lot of the lower-level tasks and even some of the higher-level tasks. And so CEOs are going to start demanding an understanding of AI, and as a marketer, as a business leader, your ability to understand how it can be applied. So the second thing we need to know is we don't get a choice in this. So if you are hesitant to understand AI, if you're waiting to adopt it, big tech is pushing this stuff into everything. You're going to hear all kinds of amazing things about what Movable Inc. is doing, what some of the sponsors here are doing. So AI is going to be infused into every piece of software you use. So whether you're Google and Google Workspace, so they have Google Cloud, Gemini, they're building agents. If you're a Microsoft shop and you have Copilot, you're able to have agents infused into every workflow that you run. Salesforce, same deal. Last fall, they pivoted to the idea of Agentforce, where you'll be able to go in and assign roles and connect to data, and then sometimes tell it what to do, sometimes it figures out for itself what to do. So we've entered this age where agents and generative AI are going to be baked into literally everything you do, every platform you use. The third thing to know is that the foundation of all of this is something called a large language model. So large language models were basically invented around 2017. So what happened is Google Brain, which was the main AI lab within Google at the time, they had 2 labs. They had DeepMind and Brain. They're now merged into DeepMind. the brain team invented something called a transformer. So they published a paper in summer 2017 where they invented this neural net that was a transformer that basically enabled AI to predict the next token or word in a sequence. They published this paper, OpenAI sees the paper, they see the potential for it, they build something called GPT-1, Generative Pre-trained Transformer. That's what GPT stands for. So this transformer opened up this entire new world where we can now have AI that could predict the next word. That also became the basis for the image and video generation we see today. So somehow, and honestly, like the labs aren't really sure exactly why it works, they just know it works. You give it more data, you give it more NVIDIA chips to train on, somehow these models just learn. And so for us, as practitioners and leaders, we all of a sudden have artificial intelligence that enables us to do all of these things. And if we think about marketing, again, depending on where you're at in your spectrum of understanding this stuff, you may just be using like Copilot or Gemini or Anthropic Claude to do simple things like email and summarization and transcription. But when you actually zoom out and you realize all the use cases it opens up, almost everything we touch as marketers, AI can now assist us with. How many people in the room have tried Notebook LM from Google? Man, Allison, I'm continually shocked by this. Okay, this is homework assignment number 1. Tonight, tomorrow, whenever you have to try Notebook. So what this is, it's a product that first came out in 2023. It was improved dramatically in 2024 with a better underlying model. But then they also gave it the ability to have audio. So you can give this thing any file you want, a PDF, a financial report, marketing analytics report, marketing research report, competitive analysis, whatever you want. You just upload it, and then you click audio overview, and this happens.
Okay, so get this right. We're diving into AI that can actually think before it speaks.
Oh, wow.
You know that OpenAI system card you sent over, the one for O1?
Yeah.
It's not just about churning out text, it's using something called chain of thought reasoning.
Yeah, it's really fascinating, this whole thing.
So that's two AI talking to each other, and you can now actually call in. You can interrupt them and say, no, I'm not actually following. Can you like restate that at like a 5th grade level? I don't understand what you're saying. You can talk to the AI and they'll talk back to you. So it takes a couple minutes to generate this, but then you can create and share these audio overviews about anything you can imagine. And so as a marketer, again, you start to think of all the potential here. If you're not sure how to use it, go into ChatGPT or Gemini and say, I want to experiment with the audio overview feature in Notebook LM. Give me some ideas as a marketer of things I could do. And it'll generate use cases for you. So that example I just gave you is a prompt. Prompting is a fundamental skill of marketers moving forward. We literally interview it for it at our company. So we look for prompting the same way we used to look for typing or being able to use a Word document. And so I think fundamentally, the ability to talk to these machines is going to be core to your success as a marketer moving forward. The fourth, and this is the part that can get a little weird, is these large language models are just the foundation for what comes next. So the reason we have large language models is because 20, 25 years ago, the AI labs set out to solve human language. They came to believe that what made humans unique, what gave us our ability to interact, to communicate, to think, to create, was because we had words. And so they set out to create AI that could understand and create language. So the language models have always just been about building human-level intelligence. This is literally the goal of the labs, is AGI, artificial general intelligence. They want to create human-like intelligence. And so every day, the models get smarter. New products come out. There's word that we're actually going to get updated models today from Google. Right now, we have 2.5 Pro. The word is it's in a research preview right now. It may actually come out as a full model today. So every day, something changes. And the way it works is the AI labs have general concepts of how to make models smarter. They have all these different picture them as like ingredients in a recipe. But they only have so many NVIDIA chips to run experiments on. So they can't just train a new model every day. It takes hundreds of thousands of chips that each cost about $35,000 a piece. So these training runs cost hundreds of millions of dollars, and they might not work. So they run small experiments. They make bets on what is the ingredient they can push on that's going to get them to the next unlock. So what that's doing is it's giving us things like multimodality. So in 2022, all ChatGPT could do was you could put a text prompt in, it could give you text output. But now you can go into ChatGPT with their image generation, you can go into Imagine from Google, and you can create lifelike imagery. You also, as of a few weeks ago, have VO3 from Google. This is real life looking videos from simple text prompts, and they also now have audio. If you're active on Twitter or X at all, you can't not see these things. The crazy part, though, is as marketers, this is here today. If you work with ad studios, creative shops, this is an ad that ran last week during the NBA Finals that a dude named PJ Ace on Twitter created in 2 days for $2,000. He did 300 to 400 prompts, took the best 15, and this is for Kelsey, I think it is. They allow real-world betting on real-world events. And so this is being commercialized. It's changing the way creativity is done. We also have the ability to do data analysis right within these models. Gemini, ChatGPT, Claude, they're all really good at this. You can connect it to data, you can put a CSV file in there, and you can literally talk to it. You can say, hey, I'm trying to find anomalies, I'm trying to find patterns, help me visualize this. And soon, you'll be able to schedule through agentic approaches, run this report for me every Sunday night and send it to me by email, because I have to turn this in every Monday morning to the leadership team. Voice is going to change the way we communicate with devices. So for me, I'm using voice more and more, but I look at my kids, my kids are 12 and 13, and I think voice may be the primary interface for them. Like I think they may actually, by the time they're professionals in 8 to 10 years, voice may be the way that they predominantly communicate. It's the thing they're already becoming used to. The other thing that changes, and this is huge within the retail environment, it'll become a big thing, is the ability for these devices to see things. So I do this all the time. You walk in a store, pull up, in ChatGPT, or this is showing Project Astra from Google, which is in their Gemini app right now. It sees and understands the world the way you do. And so you can talk to it and say, I'm thinking about buying this product, like find pricing around me for it and see if this is the best price. So people are going to shop, and this will happen through phones, it'll happen through glasses. I'm not showing you 5 years from now tech. I'm showing you literally you could pull out your app right now and do this as you're walking around New York. So this is where it goes. This is the stages of AI according to OpenAI. So first we had chatbots. That was where we could have conversations. We moved into reasoning. In September 2024, the first reasoning model came out, 01. We are currently on 03. 03 Pro came out last week. If you're confused yet, join the club. But that is a reasoning model. What a reasoning model does is it gives the AI the ability to think the way you and I do. So up until September 2024, the AI used information retrieval. It was trained on a bunch of data. You gave it a prompt, and it went and found something in its training data that allowed it to answer you. Now it can go through what's called System 2 thinking. It follows a chain of thought. It can actually go through this process. And so what happens is it becomes more intelligent. Just by taking time to think, just like we would if someone asked us a more complex question. You don't just think of it from information retrieval, you actually go through a process. This leads us to agents. Agents are systems that are able to take actions. So rather than us having to say, here's the 10 steps to go through, there are levels of autonomy. Now, it's not all AI. It doesn't just immediately go to full autonomy, but it's able to now actually figure out steps on its own. And so humans play a critical role in working with agents, and you hear agents talked about by almost every technology vendor today, but that doesn't mean humans are removed from the equation. You're there to set goals, you're there to oversee its work, you're there to manage it, and so you're going to hear a lot of talk in the coming months about the idea of humans overseeing agents, of managing agents. How many people have done a deep research project in Google or ChatGPT? About the same people who did Notebook LM. Okay, this is homework assignment number 2. If you have not done a deep research project, you do not comprehend how advanced these models have gotten. So this is real time. I'll show you this. How should CMOs think about the impact of advanced reasoning models on the marketing industry, specifically their teams, technology, and strategy? This is what happens. So I'm literally just in Gemini right here. It builds a research plan. I click, yeah, that looks good. I'll hit start research. And immediately, the AI, the agent, goes out and starts working. It comes up with its chain of thought, its reasoning process. You can do show thinking, and it's going to actually show you what it's doing. I'm starting research by focusing on 2 areas. My next steps involve this. Here's the websites I'm going to go look at. I'll fast forward to the point here. About 10 minutes later, and the app will literally tell you, you can go do whatever you want. I'll let you know when I'm done. 10 minutes later, I have a 34-page report on navigating the next wave of advanced reasoning AI in the future of marketing, which includes, by the way, a chart, meaning I asked for none of this, a chart on evolving marketing roles and skill sets in the AI era. These are actually really good. Content creator becomes human AI creative director, omni-channel orchestrator, and you start to get a sense of what's happening. You can do this with anything that you would normally research, and I would highly suggest competitive analysis, pricing analysis, whatever you would do, try this technology. So that leads us to the 5th and final thing, which is this is going to impact all of us. In the United States, there's about 136 million full-time jobs. 100 million of them are knowledge workers, people who think and create for a living, people who use a computer. The way I look at this is it can be really overwhelming. It can be very abstract. It can be intimidating, and I get all of that. But we don't get the choice of if the tech is going to advance or not. So the choice we get is to pursue the status quo, to not allow ourselves to experiment. The alternative is we embrace the unknown and the uncertainty that everyone feels, and we accelerate our own literacy and capabilities. This number keeps moving higher for me, under the working assumption at the moment that at least 80% of what you do is going to be AI assisted to some degree in the next 1 to 2 years. There's a really good chance that's going to move much higher into like the 90th percentile, because I just don't know that software exists 2 years from now that doesn't have AI infused into it. And so when you think about what you do as a marketer, the tasks that you do that are data-driven, that are repetitive, that follow a specific process, that predict an outcome or a behavior, or that generate text, image, video, audio, code, if it is any of those variables, doesn't have to be all of them, you have a potential use case for AI. And so if you think about your job or the people on your team's jobs, you can break them into a bundle of tasks. Every one of us can list the 20, 30 things we do every week, every month. And so this is a free tool you can use. This is a custom GPT I built called Jobs GPT. You can literally put your job title in there, and it will actually tell you how you can use AI in your job. It actually tries to project out the impact it's going to have on your job. You can take and paste a job description. We try and future-proof hires at my company. We will put the job description before we post it into here, and we will assess whether or not it's still a full-time employee 12 months from now. So in essence, what I did is I trained a custom GPT on what I believe the AI labs are working on, what I know the AI labs are working on, and then I try and project 12 to 18 months out what's going to happen. I also, about 6 weeks ago, created an ability to put like a college major in there, and it'll actually try and project out what a job looks like for a major in the near future. So this is an example of what it looks like. You literally just put, in this case, I think, put Chief Marketing Officer, and what it does is it immediately goes to work, and it projects out based on common tasks for a Chief Marketing Officer what it looks like. It'll go through and say, here's exposure level, meaning it's based on this exposure key we've trained, how much time you save, but the best part is it gives you a rationale. And then you can talk to this thing like a consultant. So you can say, I actually do a ton with email strategy. Can you help me focus in on email strategy? And it'll do it. So you can break it into subtasks, go through. So again, this is a way to quickly understand the impact this can have on you and your team. So the future of all work, of marketing in particular, for our point today, is what is the human going to do and what is the machine going to do? We are not trying, at least I am by no means an advocate of trying to remove the human in the loop. I'm actually the opposite. My belief is if we can focus on the things that AI is just better at, we can free up our time to do the things we actually enjoy. That's the goal of all of this for me. So AI, when you think about it at a task level, much of what we have today is very quickly approaching like level 2. Some, like deep research, are already clearly into level 3. So what I would advise for you, as I wrap up today, find the high impact, high human factor stuff and do more of that. Find the low impact, high automation stuff and do less of that. The future is unknown. We generally know where the models are going to go and roughly what they're going to be capable of. They're going to get smarter, and it's going to happen very fast. Your greatest chance to get through this and actually come out ahead is to embrace it, to become AI forward, to take a responsible approach to driving efficiency, productivity, innovation, and creativity. Being AI forward is both a mindset, but also a business and a career imperative. And as daunting as this may seem, we are at a point in human history where we get to reimagine everything, our careers, our businesses, our industries, and you have an opportunity to lead. Thank you.